exciting to me today. I'm very excited to see 100 nomads in my city. This is super cool for us. So yes, I'm from here, from Medellín, but I would like to start asking you, before you come to Medellín, what do you know, what do you hear about Medellín? What? Sancocho? Okay. Something else? Was dangerous? Yes. So were you concerned? Were you afraid to come? No? Yeah? So not you, right? Yeah, of course. Most of my life, I have been living here in Medellín, but the last 10 years, I was living out, like abroad, right? When I decided to come back, which was last year, I was afraid to come because I didn't went through again for all the violent situation that I had to when I was a child. I remember when I was maybe 9 years old, and I saw a guy with a gun shooting to the sky, and I knew that he was working for the narcos. When I was 13 years old, I was walking, going to my house, and I saw when a guy killed somebody just next to me, and I have to keep going, ignore the situation, right? When I was 18 years old, I was going to Guatapé with my friends and my family, and we were stopped by the FARC, right? So as you hear, I'm mentioning just 3 groups which destroyed the country and destroyed the whole city: FARC, the narcos, and paramilitaries. Yeah, the paramilitaries also, they were every Saturday knock our door, ask for money, because we have to pay them in order to be protected. So they were more than 3. I know that most of you think that was just Pablo Escobar who destroyed the city, but they were more than that. Actually, when he died, Medellín became the most dangerous city in the world, because all those groups, they want the market, right? They really want to have control the territory. If you see in the map, Colombia is in the beginning of South America. We are the door of South America. From here, we can go to the Caribbean, we can go to the Pacific, and North America is there. So it was like the main problem for us to be located there. So I didn't want to stay anymore here in Colombia. So I was one of the 10 million of Colombia who left, right? So I went to London as an excuse, like for studying English. I'm still learning English. So I went there, and living in London, I realized that I could be a traveler also. I know I have to do so many visas, because I remember when I saw the list of countries where I could go without visa, it was seven of them, 5 in South America, North of Korea, and Israel. For the rest, For the rest, I have to ask, right? I want to travel Europe, but I have to get the Schengen visa. I didn't get it at the time. So I want to go to Andorra, and I called to the consulate, and they said, yeah, you don't need visa to go to Andorra. But Andorra doesn't have any airport, so you should go by parachute. So I couldn't go there. So I was living there for 3 years. I couldn't extend my visa anymore, so I have to come back to Medellín. But I didn't want to, so I'm afraid to go. Well, I did. I came here. When I was walking on the street, and I was in Parque El Poblado, and I saw something that I never saw before, and was one Western guy with flip-flops, shorts, yes, and one 20 kilos backpack. I don't know how they can travel with 20 kilos. But he was walking on the street, and I saw my friends, oh, there is a traveler here. Why? What is going on? Because we didn't have any of that before. And my friend told me, yes, we are getting travelers. And then I saw another one. I said, So I went to research. And I knew that there were 200 people in Colombia, 200 travelers in Colombia, which was so exciting for us. And also I saw the first hostel in Medellín, which was Casa Kiwi. I said, wow, something is going on. But I didn't want to stay at that time. I really want to keep going and to learn how to travel more. And then also I was super interested to learn more about social business. So I decided to go to the US. I got a visa, so I can stay there for 6 months. And I was researching like NGOs, which most of the NGOs in the US, they have programs in South America, say Asia or Africa, right? So I found one in Cambodia. I even didn't know where Cambodia was. So I was with Luis, my husband, who is taking the photos, and he said, let's go there. Yeah, but we don't have any money to buy 2 tickets. With the return tickets, let's buy one-way ticket. So we went to Cambodia, and I started to learn more about peace building and social projects. And at the same time, we start to travel a lot. So we developed a portfolio to work with NGOs, and we start to travel so much. We were traveling more than 40 countries. We could manage our visas and everything. We learned to travel light with a backpack of 7 kilo backpack. I think many of you knows how to travel like that also. And it was so cool for us that we could do that. So we stayed for 6 years in Asia and Africa. And then the peace agreement, the Colombians rejected the peace agreement. And I felt that it's time to come back. So I came back here. And I saw more than 200 travelers. So I researched again, and they were like 4 million of travelers. I said, oh my God, something is going on in here. And so I went to an NGO because I want to learn more from them. This NGO was working for the last 30 years in peace building, and they showed me something. They were like 3 facts, basically. The first one, if we go back to the 80s and the 90s, at the neighborhoods, I told you that I went through many terrible situations, but the guys living in the neighborhoods, it was worse for them. So the moms, they decide to protect their kids. They decide to create a group of artists. So they say, okay, I'm going to teach to these 10 teenagers how to dance cumbia, how to dance salsa, how to paint, many kind of arts. So, and this NGO showed me when the rate of killings in Medellín was increasing, the rate of groups, of artistic groups, were increasing also. Because, the criminals, they like music also, they like dance also. So when they went to the houses to get the teenagers to become them as a part of the criminal group, the moms has an excuse, and they said, no, we have a party for the next week is going to be, we will have a party. There are dancers, there are singers, there are, like performance. And the killers, they want to enjoy this. So they start to respect the artists here in Medellín. And many of them become super professional artists and become kind of a model for the other teenagers. So the teenagers start to see that they could do something different instead to go to work with these criminal guys. So that was one of the most important things that art helped to transform Medellín. The second thing was the government. They realized that they have to include every paisa in the city. So they start to build the cable car, the escalators, and more things. And the third part, which for me is I think is most of the important thing, is, that Colombia was close to the country, to the war. Nobody wants to come because nobody of you wants to take the risk, right? But when people like you start to come, then we start to believe that we are doing something good. So thank you for coming.
So, I hope that was really illuminating. Come on, we're doing this.
I'm super shy.
She is so shy. She was so nervous about getting up here in front of you guys. They just want. Well, I'm so glad that Dora was able to share some of her story with you. And something else I wanted to bring up before we turn it over to a few Q&As before lunch is, while we've been here a lot this year, quite a few months, we've met a lot of Colombian digital nomads, but they keep saying we've met them all, because there's not that many of you. And I know there's a lot of discussion about how difficult it's been for you and some of the others we've met to like break free of some of the traditions here. What do you think this type of group could do to help encourage more location independence in a place like Medellín where we visit?
I think the easy way that a Colombian can decide to be a nomad like you is knowing your lives, how you do this. Because I can tell them many tips. I can tell them how to make the visa, how to get a job, but it's not that. It's to interact with another cultures. It's to adapt to the others, to feel sometimes alone, because as a nomad we are alone so many times. But if the Colombian can see how do you live, how happy you are, how are you supporting other cultures, if they see that as real examples, they will start to believe also, and they will follow, of course. Yeah. I will say that.
Lead by example, guys. All right, we got a couple of questions. Ambar?
I have a question. So I grew up in Mexico, and there was just the earthquake not too long ago. So there was certain parts of Mexico City that were really affected. So when I have friends that go to Mexico City, I'll tell them to go put their money in certain like tourist things in certain areas that helps the local people. Is there anything that, as you know, the room of us that are here visiting Medellín, is there anywhere that we can put our money or support locals or go to that is
Thanks
helpful?
for that. Yes, actually yes, but that is for tomorrow. Yes. I'm working in an NGO now supporting 7 projects. We have also the Peace Tour, which we show to people like you how Medellín is transforming. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we will give you more information tomorrow.
We definitely, so you guys know, every year we partner with a local organization to give back to the host city. Yep. And this year, Dora has been very kind to share with us her organization, the Peace Hub. And yeah, you're going to get more info on that. But I also think like she'd be happy to help you kind of decide like maybe which tours are good and ethical to do and maybe which ones to stay away from. So she'll be around. Yep. Next question. I think I saw a hand here. No?
Yeah, I'll go for lunch.
No? All right. You guys want lunch? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. All right. You're free to go. Thank you, Dora. Huge round of applause for Dora.